A single moment. That's all it takes to end a career worth millions. From roaring stadiums to empty silence, from being a global superstar to total darkness, it all happens in the blink of an eye. Imagine this. You're worth $40 million, living the dream, and in less than 2 minutes, it's all gone. Your career, your identity, your future. In football, everything can change faster than a referee can blow his whistle. And trust me, what happened to one of our featured players today will leave you shocked. Imagine going from being worth millions to never touching a football again in just 90 seconds. Professional football isn't just a game. Players can lose everything in one moment. Sure, the money's huge. Some stars make $400,000 weekly. But losing your dream? That hurts more. Today's stories show how fast it can all disappear. Let's start with number 1. Ardian Mutu. In 2003, Chelsea broke the bank, signing Ardian Mutu for $22.5 million, making him their biggest signing ever at that time. Mutu had it all: goals, fame, and a future brighter than anyone could imagine. But everything came crashing down in a single moment. One seemingly regular morning in 2004, Mutu showed up for training as usual. What he didn't know was that it would be his last day as a Chelsea player. The drug test results came back positive for cocaine. Chelsea wasted no time. They terminated his contract on the spot. That's crazy, but hold on. It didn't end there. FIFA banned him from playing for 7 months and slapped him with a $17 million fine, the biggest fine ever given to a player. Mutu spent 10 years to fighting the decision in court, but lost every time. He never paid it all back, and his career never recovered. But if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about Jean Marc Bosman, the man who changed football forever. But lost everything in the process. At number 2, we have Jean Marc Bosman. Ever heard of the Bosman Ruling? It's the groundbreaking law that allows players to transfer freely between clubs after their contracts expire. Yeah, that's named after this guy. And it cost him everything. Back in 1990, Jean Marc Bosman was a rising midfielder for RFC Liège in Belgium. When his contract ended, French club Dunkirk wanted to sign him. Sounds simple, right? Not exactly. Liège demanded a transfer fee so high that Dunkirk couldn't pay it. Just like that, Bosman found himself trapped. He was stuck. His old club wouldn't let him leave, and his new club couldn't afford him. So Bosman did something no player had ever dared before. He took football world to court. For 5 grueling years, he battled against the entire transfer system. And in 1995, he won. The European court's decision changed football forever. Players could now move freely when their contracts expired. But here's the dark twist. While Bosman was fighting for players' rights, his own career crumbled. He was blacklisted by clubs, labeled a troublemaker, and no one would sign him.
In front of the European Court of Justice, and what followed was a long, tiring battle for Jean Marc Bosman.
By the time he won his case, he was broke. The stress drove him to alcohol, and he ended up living on welfare.
He's the man who changed the world's most popular sport forever. But 20 years after he created new rights for footballers, what happened to Jean Marc Bosman?
The man who gave freedom to players lost his own career and future in the process. Speaking of freedom, imagine losing the freedom to even walk properly. That's exactly what happened to Dean Ashton during an innocent training session. One morning in August 2006, West Ham's rising star Dean Ashton was living his biggest dream, training with the England national team.
Taken by Jerry Daly. Pearson. Couple. Right at Turner.
At just 23, he had already scored in an FA Cup final and earned his first England call-up. This kid was supposed to be England's next great striker. But then came that training tackle. One wrong step, one awkward landing. His ankle shattered. The sound was so loud that teammates heard it from across the field. Doctors said it would heal in a few months, but they were wrong. Dead wrong. Ashton fought through 6 surgeries and countless hours of rehab. He even managed to come back and score some incredible goals for West Ham. The crowd would chant his name, but nobody knew he was playing through excruciating pain. Every step felt like walking on broken glass. By December 2009, at just 26 years old, Ashton faced the brutal truth.
Club who would fear losing that player on a free if demands were not met. For some, the European Union players as they wish to, justifies this ruling better, more than Sol Campbell's move across North London from Tottenham to Arsenal in 2001.
His ankle would never heal. The boy who was meant to lead England's attack couldn't even kick a ball with his kids in the backyard.
He ensured the future would be rosy for fellow footballers, but today a shy Jean Marc Bosman is struggling to make ends meet.
It is something incomprehensible. I am not invited in any stadium. I met Mark van Bommel, who said to me that your situation is sad. I was once in Milan and I met Gennaro Gattuso and Clara.
One training ground tackle had stolen his entire future. You might think a career-ending injury is the worst thing that could happen to a player, but Sebastian Deisler's story proves that sometimes the toughest battles aren't fought on the field at all. They called him Das Supertalent, Germany's golden boy. Bayern Munich's youngest signing ever, Sebastian Deisler had everything.
Fans with his precocious tackle from Hertha despite being injured on his right knee, which he suffered this season.
Incredible skill, perfect vision, and moves that made defenders look silly. The media branded him the next German football god. The pressure? Unreal. But behind those magical feet and brilliant passes, a storm was brewing. While fans saw a superstar on the pitch, Deisler was fighting a different game in his mind. Anxiety crushed him. Depression followed him everywhere. From the training ground to the stadium tunnel, even scoring goals couldn't chase away the darkness. Bayern Munich stood by him. They gave him time off, brought in specialists, did everything they could. But some battles can't be won with money or support. After another breakdown, Deisler did something that shocked the football world.
Schwächelt. Von rechts im Mittelfeld. Die 10 wird nicht vergeben.
He walked away. At just 27, with his best years ahead of him, he chose his mental health over fame and fortune. Today, some call him a quitter, others call him brave, but Deisler? He calls himself happy, and that's something he never felt as a football star. While Deisler's battles were personal, Rodrigo Alves faced a different demon, one that would destroy not just his career, but his entire reputation. Ever wonder what $1 million bribe sounds like? For Rodrigo Alves, it sounded like a phone call that would destroy everything he'd built. In the middle of Portugal's top league, this rising defensive star wasn't just playing football, he was playing a dangerous game with match fixers. The offer seemed simple: let in a few goals, make a few mistakes, and walk away with more money than he'd make in 5 seasons. Alves bit the bait. During a crucial match against Benfica, every slip-up and mistake was carefully planned. The crowd never suspected their defender was actually working for the other team. But karma hits different in football. The Portuguese Federation's investigation uncovered everything: text messages, bank transfers, and recorded calls. Their verdict? The harshest punishment in Portuguese football history: a lifetime ban. Not just from playing, from even entering a football stadium. The money, gone to lawyers. The fame, turned to shame. Today, Alves can't even kick a ball in an amateur league. All because of one phone call, one decision, one moment of greed. At least Alves had a choice. But for Fabrice Muamba, fate had other plans.
To counter with Lee Chung-yong, here's Muamba. Muamba into the box with a shot, and he scored! First goal of the season for Fabrice Muamba!
No one could have predicted what would happen on that cold night at White Hart Lane. 78 minutes. That's how long Fabrice Muamba's heart stopped beating. During an FA Cup match at Tottenham Stadium, the 23-year-old Bolton star just collapsed. No contact, no warning. 1 second he was running, the next, fighting for his life on the pitch. The stadium fell silent. Players cried, fans prayed. For over an hour, doctors fought to restart his heart right there on the field. The miracle? He survived. But football? That dream was over. The doctors who saved his life gave him the verdict. Playing again could kill him. Today, Muamba's alive and well, working as a coach. But that moment changed him forever. The day he died for 78 minutes on a football pitch taught him something. Sometimes losing your career means saving your life. Here's a scary thought. In 2020, Patrick O'Brien was Ireland's next big thing. Top scorer for his youth team. Professional contract ready to be signed. Then came that late-night tweet. One racist message about a Premier League player. By morning, his contract offer was gone. Every club in Ireland closed their doors. His apologies? Too late. His talent? Didn't matter anymore. O'Brien learned the hard way. In today's football world, your thumbs can be just as dangerous as your feet. His dream died with a single tap on his phone screen. But when personal tragedy strikes, even being called the Emperor can't save you, the Emperor. The most powerful shot in football. Adriano could do things with a football that seemed impossible. 99 shot power in every FIFA game. A left foot that could tear through nets. He was unstoppable. Then the phone call came. His father, his biggest supporter, died suddenly. Adriano was just 22. The Emperor's crown started slipping. The goals dried up. The power remained, but the passion vanished. Depression crept in, and the bottles piled up. Inter Milan tried everything. Therapy, support, special training programs. But you can't heal a broken heart with training sessions. By 26, the Emperor had lost his empire. From scoring screamers at the San Siro to playing in Brazil's lower leagues. Today, Adriano simply says, "I lost my joy in football when I lost my father." These aren't just stories, they're warnings. One tackle, one tweet, one tragedy, that's all it takes.
Lovely finish! Again, he's away from Ricketts. Good ball through. Mutu has scored again.
Next time you watch a match, remember, every player's career is hanging by a thread. Behind the fame and fortune, they're just humans fighting their own battles. If this video hit different, smash that like button. What career-ending moment shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, we're diving into when football celebrations went horribly wrong. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one.